that yellow circle to repost.
Hello, hello.
Come on, listeners, I need the heart knees, really do. And for those of you who are not able to do so, please tap and share.
All right. Check the YouTube now to see if there's sound there. Working out.
That yellow circle to repost.
Hello, hello.
Come on, listeners, I need the heart knees, really do. And for those of you who are not able to do, and yes, neighbor, I'm hearing the sound now. I
Okay.
didn't know I sound that good, neighbor.
Okay, I didn't know you sound that good either. Let me see if I'm here. Check the YouTube now to see if there's sound there. Working out.
That yellow circle to repost.
Okay, yes. Let me know if you're hearing me on YouTube now, please. Hearing now? Okay, thank you. All right, Carolyn, go ahead.
Yes. No, that's it, neighbor. They're hearing now, so you're good to go.
All right.
Apologies.
All right, fantastic. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. Great. So I was saying earlier that today is the birthday of the Prime Minister. So we want to pause and say happy birthday to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness. And we want to wish for the Prime Minister many more years. And we hope that you will take a little break, sir, and have a drink, relax yourself, because you have done well for your country. Congratulations on your birthday, sir. And you know, leadership, you see, is often judged not in moments of comfort, but in seasons of relentless scrutiny. Seasons of relentless scrutiny. Even this platform, we are going to do our best simply because of what we have been through. And on the Prime Minister's birthday, there is no question that Mr. Holness stands as a figure whose public life illustrates an enduring truth that those entrusted with the responsibility of transforming a nation seldom travel a path free of criticism. It's almost as if the better you are, the more they try to tear you down. And in every democracy, the burden of leadership is accompanied by the certainty of opposition. As we speak, the opposition is in St. Elizabeth having a town hall meeting. And man, they are lashing the government. I just hear Mr. Hales, the man who talked about saltfish, saying that the government is delaying getting help to the people. Go and get to that. One would have thought that after that, the leak, the PNP would try and go and bung up them pipe. Bung up them pipe. They are down in St. Elizabeth talking about Nara. Oh, what a tangled web they weave.
Asking 10 people to send me the heart knees, please.
In every democracy, the burden of leadership is accompanied by the certainty of opposition, investigation, and the constant testing of one's vision. Philosophers have long observed that great leadership requires the courage to pursue long-term goals while enduring short-term misunderstanding. Happy birthday, Wholeness. A leader who seeks only popularity rarely changes history. A leader who seeks popularity rarely changes history. But a leader who inevitably embraces difficult reforms inevitably attracts resistance. And whether praised or criticized, history ultimately measures leaders less by the noise than by the legacy they leave behind. Keir Starmer, only 2 days ago, resigned as the leader of the Labour Party and Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And in 2 years, Keir Starmer suggested that he left the UK in a better position. And if you follow UK politics, you cannot deny that. A man only served for 2 years and left a legacy. During Andrew Holness' tenure, Jamaica has witnessed difficult times. But my God, we have witnessed significant investment in infrastructure, public modernization, housing, digital government, economic management, national development. Those who support the party regard these changes as among the most ambitious in the country's modern era. At the same time, his administration has faced sustained political criticism, public debate, and years of official scrutiny, illustrating the intense accountability that accompanies democratic office. Such circumstances remind us that leadership is never exercised in silence, but in the arena of competing ideas and constant examination. Today, as we reflect on the birthday of the Prime Minister, we remember philosopher Marcus Aurelius. And Aurelius wrote that the impediment to action advances action. I want to say that again. The impediment to action advances action. In other words, the leak, the opposition is strengthening the Prime Minister's hand. The impediment to action advances action. Opposition, therefore, need not be viewed merely as an obstacle, but as one of the forces that shapes and refines leadership. God no give you more than you can carry, you know. The extent of your mission determines the extent of your opposition. I want to say that again. The magnitude of your mission determines the magnitude of your opposition. The fiercer your enemy, the greater your purpose. If your mission is great, so will be your obstacles. And so the measure of a statesman is not whether criticism exists, but whether purpose remains steadfast. And one thing you can say about this Prime Minister is that he remains focused, steadfast on the mission of delivering for the people of Jamaica. If Holness was a wishy-washy Prime Minister, we would have a wishy-washy opposition. As Andrew Holness marks another year of life, his journey invites reflection on the demanding nature of public service. Because birthdays celebrate more than age. They commemorate perseverance. It's not the age of a person, it's the perseverance. Whether verdict or whatever verdict history ultimately renders, it will be written not by the passions of the moment, but by the enduring impact of the decisions made for the future of Jamaica. Love him or hate him, history will remember him as the man who strapped Jamaica on his back during COVID, when millions of people were losing their lives. Holness and his Minister of Health saved Jamaican lives. History will remember him as the man who, when Jamaica suffered the worst natural disaster ever in our history, strapped Jamaica on his back, flew to South Africa, and represented the interests of his people, came back from the G20 and was able to announce the largest funding package to rebuild his country. History will record that this is the man that took Jamaica out of mourning, literal mourning over death. More than 30,000 people died in Jamaica in the last 2 decades. And he and his government is causing Jamaicans to now sleep with their windows and doors open. And Jamaica is today the most peaceful country in the Caribbean. History is not going to be unkind to him, because those are not political statements. Those are statements of fact. History will recall that he gave public sector workers the largest increase in salaries in this country. That Andrew Holness is the man that literally make money a jingle. A jingle in a Jamaican people pocket. You remember that phrase? Money I got jingle in your pocket. Mm. Um, this is the true test of leadership and the judgment that time alone can faithfully deliver. Um, there is an Asian paradox. If I take a little more time with this, because it's important, it's the Prime Minister's birthday. There is an Asian paradox, you see, of leadership. Those who carry the greatest responsibility often walk the loneliest road. It's the Prime Minister's birthday. Those who carry the greatest responsibility often walk the loneliest road. And history, you see, teaches us that every generation produces men and women who are celebrated by some, questioned by others, and understood fully only with the passing of time. I'll say that again. That history teaches us that in every generation, there are people produced that are celebrated, questioned, and understood fully only with the passing of time. Leadership is not the pursuit of applause, It is the discipline to carry a nation, carrying a nation's hopes through seasons of uncertainty. I challenge any Jamaican, any Jamaican living today to tell me if you are hopeless. Is there anyone watching who is hopeless? You're living in Jamaica. You don't have no hope. Come up in the chat and tell me that you are hopeless. In a country of 3 million people, tell me if there is one person watching me tonight and you are hopeless. And if you have hope, that hope is not individual. You weren't born with it. That hope is accumulated through circumstances, through environmental factors. It's not nature, it's nurtured. And on Prime Minister Holness's birthday, one of the greatest accomplishments that this man has is that he has restored hope to millions of Jamaicans, not only here, but in the diaspora. On his birthday, the birthday of Prime Minister Holness, this reflection rises above politics and it enters into the realm of philosophy. Because the office he occupies is not only one of leadership, it's also about stewardship. A calling that demands resilience in the face of relentless examination. And democracies are designed to test leaders. And those tests are often very severe. One see what is happening with the Integrity Commission. Because all your decisions are weighed. Every move is questioned. And every achievement is measured against expectations that are continually evolving. I don't know how many of you know about stoicism, the Stoics. They believe, I've listened a bit of them, they believe that character is revealed not by comfort, but by endurance. Stoicism. A leader's worth is not determined by the absence of opposition, but by the ability to remain faithful to a vision while the storm is raging. Because critics will speak, rivals will contend, investigations, they come, they go. These realities are not signs that leadership has failed. They are reminders that public service exists beneath the constraint or the constant light of accountability. I'll bring this to a close. The history of the world is but the biography of great men. The history of the world is the biography of great men. Yet even great leaders are never perfect. Their greatness lies not in infallibility, but their willingness to bear the weight of difficult decisions while accepting that judgment belongs ultimately to history rather than to headlines. Long after the political campaigns have faded and today's controversies have become tomorrow's footnotes, the enduring question will remain: did a leader leave the nation stronger than he found it? And that's the question that voters need to ask themselves going into 2030. Is Jamaica better? Because that question cannot be answered by passions. That question is to be answered by the roads that are built, the hospitals that are built, the institutions that are strengthened, the opportunities created, the confidence restored, and the hope entrusted to generations yet unborn. Those little piece of protoplasms coming out at the Victoria Jubilee, they are coming into a Jamaica that is better than the Jamaica I came into. The 4 and the 5 and the 6-year-olds that are growing up in Jamaica are growing up into a Jamaica that was better than mine. I never had shoes when I was going to school, barefoot. Well, later on I got a shoes, but you have to so carry it that you have to take it off at evening time, put it in your bag, and walk barefoot. All right, Prime Minister, may this birthday not only be a celebration of life, but also a moment of renewed resolve. A resolve for wisdom over impulse, service over self-interest, and courage over convenience. For in the end, the highest calling of leadership is not to seek the favor of the moment, but to earn the respect of history. Happy birthday, Prime Minister. Hope that Juliet Juliet and all your wonderful friends and family made today a great day for you.
For just $67, you can...
that's not good. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Is Harry there? Harry, are you there? Harry. Put up Harry for me. Let me. Fantastic. One more year, Van Dem. I'm on YouTube. I'm just reminded that I can't play that song for you. All right.
Harry, please join.
Yes, I wanted to talk to big up Jamlink. What go on to you? What go on with you, Jamlink? Big up to you, sir. Great. All right. While we wait for that, let's listen to Mr. Mark Golin. He's at a town hall in St. Elizabeth. Listen to him.
Of those who were badly affected by the hurricane. However, we are now 9 months or thereabouts past the hurricane date. And I must say that I am very, very disappointed in the government's response to the plight of the people who are affected by the hurricane. We have promises.
All right. Before we get to Golden is in St. Elizabeth saying that he's disappointed. Mark Jefferson Golden, who is the leader of the opposition and the president of the People's National Party, a party that was caught on tape planning, delaying strategies to prevent help for the suffering people, goes down to St. Elizabeth today and said this.
We were hopeful that with the outpouring of support that was evident at that time from all of those entities and governments, and of course from our own diaspora and persons in Jamaica who wanted to help out, we were hopeful that we would see a very serious effort being made to restore the lives of those who were badly affected by the hurricane. However, we are now 9 months or thereabouts past the hurricane date. And I must say that I am very, very disappointed in the government's response to the plight of the people who are affected by the hurricane.
All right. That's hypocrite Goldie. Anyway, I sometimes wonder if the type of politics that we practice in Jamaica is not shameless. Shameless politics. Because I can't imagine that in light of what is being discussed in media across the various platforms, we were not expecting that there would have been much coming out from the other platforms, the Cleaner, the RJR group, and all the others. But guess what? It's been all over the place. This disgraceful leak. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security made a comment on it. Listen to Dr. Chang.
Credibility is best described, I think I can put on that subject. This is just highly analytical, and Ambassador Anthony Anderson is an outstanding professional, and they know a characteristic of integrity. Has served the Jamaica Defense Forces Chief of Staff, or National Security Advisor. He worked as Commissioner of Police and was Ambassador to Washington. He has cleared all hurdles of due diligence you wish in terms of integrity, and he has shown outstanding professional capacity over the years. As a list of those, but I've considered those highly responsible and don't go beyond that.
Yeah, the Dr. Chang is not a man that comments on these matters often, you know. And when you hear Dr. Chang having to come out and speak on it, you know that it is bad. And rather than the PNP postpone this town hall, they are in St. Elizabeth talking about Nara. You don't have no shame, man. At least, good God, lap your tail and reflect on it. You know, this is shocking. How is it that the opposition is so emboldened? And you know why they are emboldened? Because the country is silent. We have moved on. Huh? We have moved on. Here is George Davis commenting on it.
It's as simple as that. And for the first time in certainly my lifetime, the determining issue or the determinant for who occupies Jamaica House at the next election is already obvious years before the election for Jamaica House and the campaign begins. It's an unusual place that we're in. Usually it's coming down to the election campaign season, the official campaign season, that the issues are defined and you know where the battle lines are going to be drawn and what the big issue is that the parties will seek to claim supremacy on or over. Already we know what that big prize is. If the country does not right, the rights are good. If they get it wrong, the comrades are in. And that was what one of the speakers and one of the voices in the voice note acknowledged, that, well, the labor rights have told him that, listen, we know what is riding on this, so we have to get it right. But for those public officials, especially the gentleman in the voice note,
we are bringing this to you because the PNP is currently in St. Elizabeth at a town hall meeting, telling the people down at St. Elizabeth that the government is slow to bring in help to them. After this absolutely disgraceful piece of voice note, clearly suggesting that they do not want Nara to work. I was up here until 2 o'clock when the Nara bill came to the parliament. And it was all about delay. And the man said in the voice note that they will use delaying tactics. And the shameless comrades have called a town hall meeting to tell Jamaicans, and they said they're going to go around the country. They want to listen to the people. That's what Mr. Golden is down in St. Elizabeth saying he's doing, listening to the people. And God Almighty, man, the people down there are listening to them and cheering, clapping their hands. And the same man and the same people who are putting roadblocks in the government way for political reasons are down there telling the people that the government is moving slow. Ah,
Well, it was said on this forum, Nara's success will determine the outcome of the next election. It's as simple as that. And for the first time in certainly my lifetime, the determining issue or the determinant for who occupies Jamaica House at the next election is already obvious.
well, we went through that already. Hello, Harry. How are you?
Good night, neighbor. Good night, Caroline. Good night, neighbor. Right?
Um,
Not too bad in the neighbor.
Not too bad. Yeah, fantastic. I wanted to get your reflection. Today is the Prime Minister's birthday, and I really wanted us to focus on the type of leader that he is. Harry, we tend to eulogize people when they die, and that's okay. But I believe that when people are alive, we need to let them know that their impact on lives matter. On conversations matter tonight, Harry. Um, would you help me to and the listeners to understand what is good about this prime minister that is to be celebrated on this his birthday? What would you want to say about it?
Well, I grew up with an analogy, neighbor, that, takes a comparison to the rhinoceros, all right? Where I think it embodies, or Andrew Holness embodies that, where it says you should be as tough as a rhinoceros skin.
Uh-huh.
And what that simply means is you take whatever comes your way. You're resilient. You have the courage to still take those criticisms, take the attempts of character assassination,
Yes.
and at the same time, humble enough to when you don't strike back with aggression and force, but rather compassion, understanding, and great respect, even for the enemies.
Yes.
And I think Andrew Holness has done that exceptionally well. I would go as far as to say, neighbor, he's a better man than I am. Because I can tell you,
You wouldn't take it.
I wouldn't turn the other cheek on a couple things well. Even as the leader of a country, neighbor, I don't think I have that in me, knowing what he's trying to achieve and to see the level of fight and strife against him, right? And that is human, neighbor. But he's a godly man, and I think he has embodied the walk that Jesus walked, and I think that has kept him humble enough. It has kept him on the straight and narrow, and also allowed him to extend grace. Them say forgive 70 times 70, neighbor. But I think at this time he has done that number and continuing. For all the things that he has been faced with and still stands highest among his peers, I would say he himself, neighbor, is not the man of the moment, but the man for which a legacy will forever live on. And I think we have to acknowledge that. We have to ensure that we let him know how much we appreciate what he's doing, because it takes a huge personality, strong faith, and extreme resilience to do what he's doing there. Because Jamaica not easy to manage,
Yes.
Dealing with Jamaicans is probably in a God's top 10 list of the hardest things to do. And to see who is up against different leaders, same opposition, to be honest. and he's taken it on, and he has rose to different levels for each time he's challenged in different ways.
What would you say, a member, is among Holness's greatest achievement in the 10 years he's been Prime Minister? What would you identify as Holness's most significant accomplishment for Jamaica?
I think the major thing for it, neighbor, and it takes his team, but he's the leader, so he also takes additional credit.
Uh-huh.
I think is to have achieved and convinced a large proportion or a large part of the population to be fiscally responsible again.
Fiscal responsibility.
Yeah, I think when people speak about it, they speak of it from the macro level, right? The country overall. But I think he has changed the mindset and the culture of many people to buy into that on the micro level and to start live it. So it then matriculates into the results on the macro level.
Uh-huh.
I think that has been his greatest, because that is the foundation for what he has built on and for what he has been able to achieve. If you remove that, we would have a different conversation regarding where Jamaica is under his leadership.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, want to say happy birthday to the Prime Minister and wish him many more years, eh?
Definitely, neighbor. And I know a lot of listeners will be saying he needs to give us 2 more terms. So until he's 64, 65, they're looking for him to be there. But I'll say give as much as he can give, and to do it on his own terms.
Great. Harry, go ahead.
Listeners on YouTube, I'm asking you to press that X button at the top and give us the thumbs up for this live stream, please. And for those of you on TikTok, please tap share, repost, and continue to send a heart news, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Harry, as we speak, the opposition People's National Party is in St. Elizabeth, having a town hall meeting there. I see the leader of the opposition having some comments here. Listen to a little bit of what Mark Golding is down there saying.
More able to endure what they had gone through.
Neighbor, just before you play that, we have 295 listeners on YouTube, and we still have not gotten to 200 likes. So listeners on YouTube, could you please press that X button at the top and just give us the thumbs up so we get the likes, please? We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, producer. Here is Golding.
That with the outpouring of support that was evident at that time from all of those entities and governments, and of course from our own diaspora and persons in Jamaica who wanted to help out, we were hopeful that we would see a very serious effort being made to restore the lives of those who were badly affected by the hurricane. However, we are now 9 months or thereabouts past the hurricane date. And I must say that I am very, very disappointed in the government's response to the plight of the people who are affected by the hurricane. We have promises for housing support, apart from the roof program, which wasn't even 0.5% of GDP, and which was very inadequate because even those who lost their entire homes were only given 500,000 Jamaican dollars as a contribution. And many persons who had severe damage were offered and given 200,000. And the whole...
All right, let's leave it there. Harry?
Yes, neighbor.
Is NARA not the vehicle for a lot of what Golding is talking about?
It's the majority in terms of the driver for Jamaica's recovery and rebuild.
But his party was just heard saying, orchestrating how they could stop Nara. Then how is Mr. Golding able to make this comment?
Well, three things in a neighbor. Three critical things that falls under what I might say hyper polarization and partisanship. And I'll break it down.
Sure.
The three things are tribal loyalty, because this is what he's doing.
Tribal loyalty.
Right? Is where the voters may increasingly view politics on all or nothing. And because he's going after his base to revitalize and re-energize them, he has to say things and also eliminate information on critical things in the media.
Yes.
Which you will also have to do is to take advantage of the ignorance of the audience you're speaking to.
That is the man on the ground that the tape spoke to. Package it for the ground.
Right. Then you have the flock protection. Right.
Hold on. I don't want to miss them. Producer, can you type them out for me? What the first one name?
Tribal loyalty.
Tribal loyalty. And the second is flock protection.
Protection. Right. Which is something they've been doing for quite a while. Especially after September 3rd. So this in itself, neighbor, actually speaks more to the base that he's speaking to, because they're partisans. They will actually tolerate unethical behaviors, which include turning a blind eye to something that will hurt us, right? And what this does is that these unethical behaviors by the party or a leader neighbor to prevent the opposition for them, which is the current administration, which will prevent the Jamaica Labour Party from winning power. So because of that is coming out to them, they will already see themselves as them against us. So we will ignore and also push forward an agenda. Doesn't matter about morals, norms, and values. It is anything goes. And we hear that in the voice note specifically to say, by all means necessary, we will have to bring down Major Anderson. This is a part of it, right?
Okay, so that is flock protection.
Right. The next one.
Hold on, man, before you go on to the next one. So flock protection is Golding have to now protect the supporters of the party.
Right, and vice versa. Because once he gives them, once he packages the information and give it to them, which also include turning a blind eye or don't answering, not answering to any critical information in the media or in the public. Right?
Protect the flock at all costs.
At all costs, because the flock will then protect him as a leader.
Well, let me ask you, isn't that a losing strategy, Harry? Because can the flock alone tip you over the political fence to win power?
Well, they're hoping that happens. But also understand this as well, neighbor. They have managed to mobilize the ignorance of certain people in the diaspora who may not necessarily be a part of the flock, They can deter some people from even coming home to vote. And even those who are here, deter them from being a part of the system when it comes on to, the electoral system. So it goes both ways, As they go ahead and protect that flock, and the flock protects its leader, right, by being very partisan, a lot of people get worn down by the information being put out and start to look at this and say, well, them a politician, all of them are the same thing. And that has worked for them in the past in terms of how many people have not taken up or not utilized their constitutional rights to vote in an election. We looked at the list and see how many people are on the list and how many didn't vote. A lot of that is because persons aren't participating. No, it is or has been a losing strategy for 3 elections straight. But here's the difference, neighbor. They accept the first defeat. The second one, they looked at it to say, our differences, internal differences, caused us to lose it.
Yes.
And then the third one, no. Well, we're stable now. We get additional 4 seats. Additional 14 seats. But it doesn't stop at an additional 14 seat to them. They look at it to say, we were just 4 seats away from being the government. That level of delusional thinking and perspective has fueled them.
Yes.
To think that they have achieved a milestone not seen before. And as such, they are amplifying that reality to them. Because these are just what the numbers say in a neighbor. And we hear it. Mark Golden keeps speaking of the 401,913 people, the 400,000 strong. That is the level of delusion he's utilizing. And a lot of people in the base have thought that, in fact, they've utilized the additional number to say, listen, we get another 150,000 people back on our sides, because the difference between 2020 and 2025 election was that approximately 150,000 PNP didn't vote. That's how they see it. But now we get them back to vote. And the difference now is less than 10,000 in terms of who voted for the Jamaica Labour Party and the PNP. These are the things they're utilizing, neighbor. And you and I and our listeners knows the difference and understand that it doesn't make sense. But you can spin it and turn it however you want to revitalize that base and to be very delusional with it. Right? Now, that in itself takes me to
the third point.
Right. Which is enemy framing. This is where Mark Golding and the People's National Party justify extreme actions by the government, right, as an existential threat to the country.
Yes.
They know the truth about NARA. NARA is what will build us and put us back. Not even put us back, will throw us into a realm Jamaica has never seen, but long overdue. So what they will then do is to weaponize the ignorance of the people again who never read the NARA bill, who don't understand the NARA bill, and who really and truly don't have no interest in knowing the critical details. And they will turn it and say things like the NARA Act doesn't have any accountability framework in it, and it can't work. And the Major General Anderson corrupt, and the Prime Minister, because of illicit enrichment, will corrupt and thief the money himself. They are practicing this type of framework. And as such, a lot of people who are very much uninformed have bought into it, predominantly their base. But that is what they want. They want to ensure that the base stays alive, because if the base doesn't stay alive, neighbor, they are guaranteed to not even be close for the next election once the government executes all the plans it has laid out. And as such, they have to now use the emotions of the people against them very selves. Because it is not necessarily just against the government to understand this, The truth of this matter, neighbor, is that if this administration fails, Jamaica fails. And the People's National Party want to achieve that. But for those who have bought into what the people, the PNP has been putting forward, don't understand, say, if the administration failed, Jamaica failed, and they failed as well. They go into a realm that a lot of them has never seen.
Yes.
And they will suffer for it.
Yeah. There is something.
These are the 3 things they've done.
Yeah, sure. There is something unsettling, though, as I listen on here, Harry, about the opposition's posture this afternoon. it is almost as if them not care. Them do what them do, and they keep moving along. Isn't it very unsettling to listen to them basking in the glory of their supporters, knowing, Harry, what they have done? No conscience.
Here's the thing about it, neighbor. Jamaica has lost a huge part of its morality and accountability from a civil standpoint. Right? Strategically orchestrated by the People's National Party in the continuation of their reign. Because we saw where the degradation started and catapulted into something larger. Lawlessness, thinking that breaking the law is the norm, corruption is normal, and as such the value system was shaken down.
Yes.
The good thing about it is that we slowly are bringing it back. It's going to take a while to build back though. Because when you look at shaming, enough people are shame again, neighbor. Some things that we do know, but then you're shamed for it, and then you adapt and go back into what is accepted norm and what is values, right? And moral. The morality compass has been lowered, orchestrated, because we've seen, for example, even with the civil society, who normally holds political leaders accountable, they have infiltrated that, and they aren't ashamed of that. They let you know that that's what they have done, right? And they will continue to do so. So they know that that meter is not high anymore in society, as much as it's being built back slowly. And as such, they can take advantage of it, and they will do so relentlessly.
Please allow me to interrupt again, please. YouTube audio is gone.
The audio is gone, and okay, all right. Hold on. Tell me if it's back. Audio is good. No. They said the audio is good. I'm not so sure what's happening, but they said the audio is good. Are you hearing me on YouTube? I'm not hearing the audio. The law is a shackle. Audio is good.
Yes, I'm hearing you again, neighbor. It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead, Harry.
Yes, neighbor. I'm here.
There is one matter that I want to bring to your attention, and that of the listener. The PNP today put out a media release. It says PNP demands Cuthbert Flynn confirms or deny illicit. Your background there. PNP demands that Cuthbert Flynn confirm or deny illicit enrichment investigation. Now, the opposition People's National Party is putting out a press release demanding that Julef Cuthbert Flynn, who is a state minister, confirm or deny illicit enrichment investigation. Mrs. Flynn is to confirm that she is being investigated for illicit enrichment. Is the PNP gone mad?
They are throwing everything, neighbor.
But hold on, Harry. How could she confirm? That is not for Mrs. Flynn to confirm.
Neighbor, desperation has kicked in. And anything, remember, this is the art of distraction, neighbor. And it's a beautiful thing that we have covered it some time ago, and we probably will have to revisit it. So it's also on this page for our listeners to go and look back at and rewatch it. But desperation has kicked in, so they have gone for the next best thing. Let's try distract the people, right? The Integrity Commission has put out that there are X amount, I don't remember the amount, of persons that are being considered on the investigation. No names have been called, nothing. But what they've done here, neighbor, is to say, listen, we can put out something. It doesn't have to be true. Again, going back to what that voice note says, because of the first rodeo is something they've always done. They will put out something and let people drive a narrative or to think that if we get this name out there, it's a politician, so something must go so. So they're playing on again, neighbor, the emotions of the people to try and distract them. Because I can tell you, don't be surprised if the PNP bloggers run with this thing and it blow. In fact, don't be surprised if this ends up in TVJ News or Radio Jamaica or any one of those. Don't be surprised about it. And it may not be a big news piece, but it just might be on their social media page for a few hours. Anything to ensure that they can distract us from what matters, neighbor. And the major thing that is currently here in our space that matters are the contents of that leaked voice note or voice notes. Because that has a damning situation, not just politically, but in terms of how the country has been run in the past and what the People's National Party are prepared to do at the detriment of Jamaicans. So they're going to find things, neighbor. Don't be surprised if another news break before Friday evening, right? So these are the things. It's just an act of trying to distract the people from the critical things. Remember, we saw it before. Remember when the Jack Den news broke and it was doing 3 good days. Boom, we had Mark Malava, random post, random outburst. And they ran with that. Anything to turn the heads of the people of Jamaica so the light does not shine brighter on the key figure and the key thing that the People's National Party has done.
But this is irresponsible of an opposition, Harry. How could Mrs. Cuthbert Frim come out to confirm or deny whether she is on, even if she is under investigation? That is not between her lawyers and the IC, or is the PNP? Does the PNP have information that Mrs. Flynn is under investigation? Wouldn't you see this as the opposition acting in an irresponsible way? Because, quite frankly, what the opposition have done here is to suggest by perception that Ms. Cuthbert Flynn is under investigation, because that is what this is going to say to the supporters of the PNP. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Or is this their deliberate motive?
Everything that is put out, neighbor, is coming from their election machinery, right? And yes, we don't have an election anytime soon in terms of, both local election and the general election. We don't have any of them within the next few months or a year, right? Because the local is due in 2028 constitutionally. Now, when we look at it, neighbor, well, not 2020, 2027. Now, when we look at it, the People's National Party has never left out of the campaign zone. Every single day since September 3rd, it's an election movement for them, because that's how they will try to stay relevant. Now, are they getting information from the Integrity Commission? We can deduce that based on how information has been distributed, the time frame at which it has also been distributed, and they've also the pattern that I've personally seen is that whenever the People's National Party come out and utter these things that has anything to do with the Integrity Commission, it is normally followed by something put out by the IC.
Uh-huh.
So we can look out for that. So by the law of deduction, there has to be some level of leakage that is happening from the Integrity Commission. Who it is, we may not know. But definitely, also, it is extremely irresponsible of a party, because I'm not putting it down to just the leader. It is irresponsible of a party that wants to be viable, who believes they are competent enough to be the next government, to be doing these type of things. And it doesn't put the narrative, neighbor, that they're willing to rule over the ashes. Because these are the things you do when you want to rule over the ashes. You can't match up, so you tear down. And that is what they've always practiced. And I think now we're seeing it even more aggressive than before. And that's something we have to look out for, something we also have to try and nip in the bud. Whether that is we need to stand in solidarity and not just get the truth out, but probably have to go down a garden house one of them evenings to neighbor, right? Because it has to take something definitive to reel back in this opposition party.
Let me read the PNP post. Kingston, Jamaica, July 22, 2026. Listeners, tell me if this makes any sense to you. I'm trying to figure it out. The People's National Party is deeply troubled by two now deleted social media posts on July 20, 2026 by Juliet Cuthbert Flynn. So the PNP is concerned that Ms. Flynn deleted 2 social media posts. The PNP is monitoring Ms. Cuthbert Flynn page. Member of Parliament and State Minister in the Ministry of National Security and Peace, in which she appeared to minimize the seriousness of illicit enrichment as a criminal offense. The posts include statements which indicate that Mrs. Cuthbert Flynn may herself be the subject of Integrity Commission scrutiny. However, instead of clarifying this, she chose to delete her post. So let me ask you something. Miss Flynn is not entitled to post what she wants up on her thing and delete it when she feels. The PNP continues to say the PNP calls on Mrs. Cuthbert Flynn to publicly state in definitive terms whether she is currently under Integrity Commission investigation. And they end by saying that the Jamaican people, both at home and in the diaspora, deserve honesty and precision from their public officials, particularly one entrusted with national security. I find this to be a low blow, you know, because what the PNP is doing here is suggesting that Mrs. Flynn, why are you asking Mrs. Flynn these questions publicly? Harry, what you make of this? I'm trying to figure it out.
Neighbor, it's when you look at it, right? It is suggestive speaking in the written sense, right? Because no one publicly came out and said it, but in a written piece, it's suggestive speaking. And for many persons, it is really one in which it technically is a form of communication that implies or hints at specific meaning rather than stating it outright. It is also that we need to understand it is a position that you can take and still protect yourself. Because being suggestive doesn't mean you yourself are explicitly calling out somebody on something, so they can't hold you accountable. either.
Yes.
Right? No, that for me, neighbor, we need to understand that Miss Flynn has a personal life. She has her social media posts that she can make. And nobody determines if she wants to make a post and take it down. That is in her prerogative. But what I find disrespectful to the people of Jamaica from the opposition is that they're willing to hint and insinuate pretty much defamatory actions or defamatory statements on someone who probably has no idea about what they're speaking about, and to then try to state, because this is the follow part of it, they will come and say Miss Flynn, or rather, let me put it this way, they are trying to put her in a position where she's damn if she do and damn if she don't. So if she answers, they get a reaction, and that is what they want. And if she doesn't answer, they're going to put it to the people and say, we're trying to hold her accountable, and she refuses. She's hiding something. That is a spin on it in a neighbor. It is the art of a war where you pin somebody against the people just by framing a thought. We're not no go so. This is even greater than propaganda in a neighbor. It falls close to it, but this is borderline between an attempt of character assassination and propaganda.
Yeah.
And I think we have to hold the PNP now, neighbor. At full time, the PNP start to get a beating. And the beating that they should get is from the value system and morality. Because you can't beat that.
Now, watch me. The IC is supposed to be the independent and confidential body that investigate illicit enrichment. Mute Harry there for me. Yes. By law, the IC doesn't confirm who it is investigating until a report is tabled. By law. So when the PNP is asking Mrs. Cuthbert Flynn to publicly state, that puts Mrs. Flynn in a difficult position. Because if she says no, and the IC later says yes, then she lied. If she says yes, then they begin to try her in the media. If she says, I can't comment, then she looks guilty. That's the political theater that the PNP is trying to trap Miss Flynn into, you know. Clearly. Then you want to know that it comes right after the Nara leak. Right after the Nara leak. And what was happening in the Nara leak? The PNP has been accused of obstruction. So the PNP finds themselves under a little bit of political pressure. And everybody on social media is talking about the voice note. And the PNP is not getting any good press. So guess what? We have to put in a monkey wrench. We have to find something to distract the people. And what better method than the IC? That is the trump card of the PNP. IC reports. Classic deflection. Because now the JLP may be forced to respond. And the next 48 hours, what are the people at Jamaica going to be talking about? Instead of talking about the voice note, they'll be talking about Miss Juliet Flynn, whether Miss Juliet Flynn is under illicit enrichment investigation. So the PNP wants to reframe the narrative. Huh? Harry, you were saying?
I'm saying with it, the best answer to give is no answer. We go on in continuing the people's business, right? Because Cuthbert Flynn doesn't answer to no PNP neighbor.
I find it a bit. I don't even know the word. This is wrong, though, Harry, because quite frankly, the IC does not conduct its investigations in public. Miss Flynn we don't need to know this. If Miss Flynn is under investigation or not, that is of no relevance of this moment, because that is not saying whether there is guilt or not. The IC may investigate and find nothing. So why is the PNP putting it out there in the public that the lady must come say? You could say that of any member of parliament, couldn't you?
Easily, neighbor. It is, and this is the thing.
Sorry.
Here tonight, when he said, not verbatim, but he spoke to the questions asked and how you get the attention of the Integrity Commission in a suggestive manner. Anybody can say anything, and the IC runs or allegedly runs to it, right? And if that is a practice of the day, then we should be interrogating the management of the Integrity Commission even higher. And one of the things now in a neighbor is I put the ball back in the PNP's court. With this suggestive statement, come with the evidence if you so have something other than what we may think Mrs. Flynn is going to say. Because to ask or to make such a statement, right, you must have evidence, And if you have evidence of whatever it is and refuse to bring it to the forefront, then I believe you have no case and should shut up and go and do the people's duties as an opposition. Now, one of the major things to look at in a neighbor is that the People's National Party are very, very desperate. And I will implore all members, because they're going to come with other names, They're going to come with other suggestive statements and try to create a suggestive dialogue, is that all member of parliaments in the administration, if it is not a formal request from an institution that you are held accountable by, you shut your mouth and you go on your way to do the people's business. You run the country the way the people who have voted for you requires you to do, and continue to do the work no matter what. The only time you should be seen or heard providing a comment on anything the PNP says is if it is answerable into Parliament, answerable to your constituents, and or answerable to the Constitution overall. Apart from those three things, you go on your merry way and you conduct the business of the people. Let the PNP speak. They are empty barrels, neighbor, and as such, a lot of noise is going to be made as they themselves come tumbling down the hill. Because they're on a hill and they're tumbling in, a neighbor. And I can warn them, this is a snowballing effect for them. And it's not a good one.
Yeah.
If they think that leaked voice note is the end all, it's going to gain momentum. There are others coming. There are other issues and blunders that they will be exposed for. And by the time the next election is called, we probably don't have another PNP for people to even be considered being put on any ballot paper in a neighbor. That is what they're flirting with.
Yes.
That is the reality.
Total irrelevant. The Jamaica Labour Party have responded to the PNP's leak voice note, and I can tell the PNP something that one thing I realize, is that the people of Jamaica are learning. The people of Jamaica are getting smarter. And I'm going to take a minute here to encourage my listeners to subscribe to Protecting Jamaica. Protecting Jamaica's platform. Protecting Jamaica is a regular contributor to the program here, the Hello Neighbor Show. He has a YouTube channel, and I'm encouraging you to support him, to go over there and subscribe to his channel and to watch his videos. I'm also going to say to my listeners that you should support the other bloggers. I don't know their names all. I do not get a chance to necessarily go to their pages and to go on their platforms. I'm very, very occupied in the days having to produce this program and to do other things to sort out my life. But I think that you should support them. I think that it is a team effort. I believe that the objective of all the bloggers remain the same, and that is to see Jamaica advance, the development of our society. And I think there is a general feeling building in the country that the Jamaica Labour Party is the better of the two political organizations that we have. Faultless? No. Better for Jamaica? Yes. And that the mission would be to ensure that the party wins a fourth term in government. And if that is the collective mission of all the bloggers, whether it be Rusty or Kizzy or Madam Speaker or Duchan or whoever they are, some of their names, Black King, Classic, all of them, then I believe that in their own way, a cake has several slices, and when you cut out a little slice here, it's still a cake. If the mission is for fourth term, then I see no reason to be divided. I see that supporting all of them and making sure that they all arrive at the finish line together would be good. So I encourage my listeners to support all of them, and please go over to YouTube and subscribe to Protecting Jamaica. All Labour Party bloggers deserve respect. All Labour Party bloggers deserve support. All Labour Party bloggers should be treated with the utmost of respect. Some wear jackets, some don't. Some have studios, some don't. But all of us, or all of us, are batting for the same team. And there are Laras, and there are Gordon Greenwiches, and there are Desmond Haynes, and there are Carl Hoopers, and there are Jimmy Adams, yes, and there are Ridley Jacobs. But it's one team, and if the team wins, we all win. If you want Team JLP to win, then cut out the division. Cut out the division and support each other. We don't need to be quarreling about this man, that, and that man, that, and no. Cut out the competition and all of the rivalry and press forward to the goal. What is the goal of blogging? Why do you come up on your platform? You come because you want your party to win. Yes? You know what Omar Davis said? We don't want to be outside, wondering how Mr. Siaga is inside fixing the problem. When 2030 come, you want to be outside wondering how Julian Robinson handling up a Ministry of Finance? And if it's Mark Golding is the Prime Minister, wondering what Golding are going to do with the NIR? Be focused, guys. Take away the personal feelings and all of that and come together and push the message of the party. The party's agenda matters more than your personal self. You don't really matter. Put yourself aside and focus on the Jamaica Labour Party 2030. That is the mission that you must be on, night after night. Focus on the mission of ensuring that the party wins a fourth term. Don't think about the fifth term yet. Don't think about the fifth term. Think about the fourth term. It's very important, very, very important that Jamaica continues on the path of development. I want to play for you the Jamaica Labour Party's response to the PNP's voice note, because thanks to blogging and vlogging, this voice note will not leave from off the ear. No matter what the PNP tried to do, it must stay in the public space. Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but just before you do that, asking all our listeners on YouTube to just press that X at the top and give this live stream a thumbs up, please.
Great. We're having much more people over YouTube than TikTok. We may have to just do YouTube moderator. Okay. Listen to the Jamaica Labour Party. Senator Tavares Finson. He's one of the future members of Parliament, I understand.
Today is a profoundly sad day for Jamaica. The leaked voice notes involving two members of the opposition discussing NARA in a manner that encourages its failure are deeply troubling. Such remarks are subversive, irresponsible, and entirely inconsistent with the solemn duty entrusted to those elected to serve the Jamaican people.
Oh my God, what a takedown from young Tavares Finson. Senator Finson, or anybody listening to him, I'd love to discuss these things with you. These are powerful words there, young senator. He's the son of the president of the Senate, Tom Tavares Finson. Yes, he is Senator Christian Tavares Finson. Listen to Mr. Finson, which tells me that this voice note here is being taken very serious by the party. A number of them are commenting on it. Listen to Tavares Finson. Yes, go ahead.
It is a profoundly sad day for Jamaica. The leaked voice notes involving two members of the opposition discussing NARA in a manner that encourages its failure are deeply troubling. Such remarks are subversive, irresponsible, and entirely inconsistent with the solemn duty entrusted to those elected to serve the Jamaican people. Today is a profoundly sad day for Jamaica. The leaked voice notes involving two members of the opposition discussing NARA in a manner that encourages its failure are deeply troubling. Such remarks are subversive, irresponsible, and entirely inconsistent with the solemn duty entrusted to those elected to serve the Jamaican people. At a time when our country faces significant challenges and opportunities, every effort that advances national development should be encouraged, not undermined for political expediency. It has not escaped me that many of the civil society groups in Jamaica have...
Here they know. I tell you something, the party is getting better, The Jamaica Labour Party is getting better. It has woken up. And when you see so many members of the party from the ministerial level, Dr. Chang, Mr. Vaz, imagine Dr. Chang commenting on this leak audio. Dr. Chang, imagine. And now Christian Tavares Finson, who is a senator, Listen to Tavares Finson. He's not done yet.
Come out for statements that carry far less serious.
Hold on. Tavares Finson is going to speak to the civil society groups. Yes, listen to him.
Development should be encouraged, not undermined for political expediency. It has not escaped me that many of the civil society groups in Jamaica have come out for statements that carry far less serious consequences than the ones made by these two members of the opposition. I therefore ask that these civil society groups find their voice at this time and make it known that it will not countenance this type of unpatriotic behavior. It will not support it and it should be condemned. And any activity by these persons to undermine the country in the interest of their party should be condemned.
There you have it. You hear that? The Jamaica Labour Party, using one of their senators, is calling out civil society groups. The Senator Tavares Finson is saying that civil society groups come out for less, and so they are asking what happened to the civil society group. And that is one of the problems in Jamaica. I have said it to you, that there seem to be more than one opposition in Jamaica. 28 civil society groups came out against NARA. Some of them I didn't even know that they were in Jamaica. It was civil society groups that purportedly went up to Crossroads to protest. And now they're dead silent. The Jamaica Labour Party was not done there. Jamaica Labour Party Deputy General Secretary Richard Creary, he made a call to Cliff Hughes. So the parties, listen to him.
The 19th of June was my...
Richard Creary. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
I'm calling in my capacity as a Deputy General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, as well as a local government practitioner, councillor for the last 23 years. The 19th of June was my anniversary the other day.
Yes, sir.
The topic you have been discussing since this morning regarding those voice notes, I listened to your monologue and I'm just wondering though, I can understand that you are alarmed, but I cannot understand why you are surprised.
I didn't express surprise.
Okay.
No, sir.
I got that impression.
No.
But Mr. Hughes, this has been the playbook of the PNP, I would say, in the last 3 to 4 years. Perhaps even a little longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have said publicly and otherwise that the PNP does not mean Jamaica well.
Hold on.
Richard Creary. Good morning.
The PNP does not mean Jamaica well. This is the Deputy General Secretary of the PNP, of the Jamaica Labour Party, saying that the PNP don't mean Jamaica well. Listen a little bit more to Mr. Creary.
Some persons before calling earlier would have said some of it, highlighted some of those things that I had planned to highlight. But it is clear, it is obvious from these voice notes that they don't want Jamaica to succeed, because if Jamaica succeeds, then the Jamaica Labour Party will look good as a government.
Mm-hmm.
So if what they want is for the government to fail, and in the government failing, Jamaica would fail. And I've heard you say it, I don't know if it is an original by yourself, that the PNP appears that they want Jamaica to burn down and they preside over the ashes. And these voice notes are clear that that is the playbook. And I don't like when people use the terms misinformation and disinformation. because it somewhat makes it sound like it's something that is acceptable. They are just blatant lies, Mr. Hughes.
Yes, they are. They do tell blatant lies.
We were told, don't tell lies.
Yes.
Lies are an abomination unto the Lord.
Yes, yes. Sunday school principle.
Normalize it.
Yes.
And calling it disinformation and disinformation. Call it what it is. It is just blatant lies. We should never want to seek.
We're listening to a call placed to nationwide by a Deputy General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, Mr. Richard Creary. Mr. Richard Creary said him not like the term misinformation and disinformation. They are liars. Mr. Creary is saying that the PNP want Jamaica to burn down and then rule over the ashes. They don't want Jamaica to prosper. I don't think that there is any greater content for discussions, especially in prime time, than this, Whatever else is happening in Jamaica, this voice note must be discussed and discussed and discussed and just because Jamaica's future depends upon it. A man by the name of, I think his name is Cadwell. He wrote a book, that is called The Tipping Point. The Tipping Point. And Cadwell argues that there comes a time in your life, when a moment in your life when you have to make a decision. Like you're in a relationship and for years you have been figuring things out. There comes a time when you just have to make a decision. Am I going to stay or am I going to leave? Yeah? You ever you ever go to a table yet to eat something and you don't want to eat it? You have to decide. You're going to have it or you're not going to have it. You eat or you're not eat. I believe that this voice note brings Jamaica to a tipping point. This is about the country's future. Jamaica's future hangs on this note. This is not just another voice note. This is about where Jamaica goes. Every citizen of Jamaica ought to be interested in this moment. This is a moment that is going to define who we are as a people. This is a moment that is going to define where we go as a nation. And it is not a moment that we must take lightly. The PNP may want us to stop talking about it. So they put out press statement about Ms. Cuthbert Flynn, to ask IC questions. They're talking about delaying of point system. They've gone down to St. Elizabeth to have town hall meetings. And I know they'll be coming with something more tomorrow. But I am encouraging the bloggers, talk about the voice note. This is not simply a voice note. It is about what type of Jamaica you and I are building for our future. Because the voice note is revealing something very deeply troubling about the type of society that we will have under People's National Party government. And in any self-respecting country, there would have been calls for the leadership of the party to resign. The leadership. But alas, Jamaica moves on. We cannot move on. We cannot move on. Because if you have a contractor building your house, and you get a voice note that the contractor is plotting to use an electrician to mess up the wiring of the house so that your house burn down, you're in problem. That is not a contractor that you would continue to hire. And the PNP was heard saying that they don't want Jamaica to progress. How do they remain a legitimate political party? How? How can the PNP continue to enjoy the support of taxpayers? I see Barry. Barry, good evening to you. Hello.
Good evening, neighbor. Good evening.
Barry, I see you have to put your books aside this evening and come out because this hurt you so bad. You have to come say something about it. What you want to say?
Why, neighbor, I am, to be honest with you, I expect a lot of things from the PNP.
Aha.
But this one, neighbor, takes
the cake.
I don't know where you normally say people went down into the abyss. Yes. Because this tantamount to some form of criminal charges should be profiled against the People's National Party. The plot against maligning.
You say that we should lock them up. Hold on. We should lock them up, sir. Oh,
yes, I think so.
Uh-huh.
Because if you listen to the voice note, neighbor, it says Mr. Anderson has a unblemished character.
Yes.
And it is going to be very hard to tarnish. But yet they are going to package things and put it out there to the Jamaican people.
Yes.
So that they will actually believe that this man has a checkered past.
My God.
Isn't that criminal, neighbor?
Why, Mr. Barry? It really bad.
And your favorite host normally say, power corrupts.
And right? Absolute power corrupts, absolutely.
Absolute power corrupt, absolutely. And this is a clear example, neighbor, of how the hunger for power, it's not even power, you know. Just the hunger for power could have caused you to be plotting, to defame and to malign and undermine the character of a good Jamaican who has given human service. Neighbor, I don't know how much lower can the PNP get. I honestly don't know how much lower. And what is striking, neighbor?
Yes.
Is that all these people who consider themselves civil society.
Yes.
None of them, not one single one of them, has come out to condemn the voice notes that got leaked from the People's National
None.
Party.
Mr. Barry, frame this into a national discussion for me. What does this say about Jamaica today, the type of society that we are trying to build? How is Jamaica to look at this moment? These are the two competing political parties in Jamaica. One is an alternative government. They have been in government, as a matter of fact, for more time than the Jamaica Labour Party. Put it in context for me, Barry. You're a teacher. How should Jamaica be looking at this moment? Hello? I think
if we should take respect,
but
the feel
you're breaking up, Barry.
Of, right? And look at the time when the Jamaica Labour Party is in power. Every single time we saw growth and development. And we saw every time the Jamaica Labour Party takes power from the 1960s up to present. Are you hearing me, neighbor?
Very loud and clear.
Yes. Every time the Jamaica Labour Party takes power, we saw growth and record levels of growth up until 1988, when the People's National Party got that long stint. And that is at that particular period of time, neighbor, when we saw the degradation of the Jamaican economy. We saw it in the 1970s, right? So Edward Seaga came and we saw the second highest level of growth in the Jamaica's economy in the 1983, moving forward. And in 1988, when we had Gilbert, we were able to bounce back so fast because of how we were building the economy.
Yes.
Now this government took the country from the PNP. And what we're seeing, neighbor, is that we've gone through pandemic after pandemic. Pandemic, hurricane, all kind of stuff. And at the same time, we have seen the lowest crime level. We have seen lowest unemployment rate, highest level of NIR. We have seen neighbor unemployment. We have seen poverty rate falling to its lowest level, right? We have seen more young people being trained than ever before. And you still have people who cannot look. This People's National Party cannot look in all of this achievement to say the JLP is doing something. What can we put forward to say we are going to do better? So what you seek to do now is to undermine, malign, and mispackage the information, package false information or lies to sell to the Jamaican gullible people who forms the base of your party, to run with so that they can spread the news, bad news. Neighbor, simply put, the PNP cannot be seen as a credible or viable alternative. Simple. And that is how
hold on, Barry. At this time, you are saying that the PNP is not a viable alternative for government.
Not a viable alternative to Jamaica's problems or Jamaica's development. So let's put it that way. Because what we see happening is that we see a prime minister who is a thinker, who is a visionary, who has crafted probably one of the best things that will happen to Jamaica since independence. And because they realize that this is going to be a game changer for Jamaica, they do not want to see it happen because it is going to make the Jamaica Labour Party look good. And as Mr. Query said, that the PNP don't mind burning down the country and roll over the ashes. And basically that is what it is. So the message to our Jamaican people,
yes,
those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, is to look at the PNP and see them for what they are, the criminal organization that they have become over the years. I don't think a Michael Manley would do such a thing. As bad as PJ Patterson be, I don't think he would have done such a thing. Portia Simpson Miller would have never done such a thing. Peter Phillips would have never done such a thing. And not that I support any of those people. But this new breed of politicians that
they're a new breed, sir.
They are taking everything that we have and they are throwing it out in the garbage. And they are bringing in, I don't know where they're getting their thing, and they're bringing it in and wanting people to believe. So neighbor, like you said, we need to coalesce around our bloggers, or vloggers, or youth content creators. We need to put our differences aside. I'm not sure there are differences.
Yes.
If there are differences, they need to be put aside. And we need to start to make Jamaica see the Jamaica Labour Party for what we're doing. Spread the word. And I like the lies that the PNP are crafting and selling to the unsuspecting Jamaican people, because there are gullible people out there who, as long as somebody in a politics or in a parliament say they'll believe it.
Yeah. In that respect, Barry, the PNP is in St. Elizabeth tonight, talking about NARA and how the government is delaying support to the people. What do you make of that type of hypocrisy?
But neighbor, it tells you. I mean, if you the voice note said that they craft NARA because if they push it through the regular channel, the parish councils controlled by the PNP would employ delay tactics to make sure that these projects do not get through in a timely manner. So going down there to go on a platform to tell people that the government is delaying stuff when your shenanigans all this time is simply because you wanted to delay the process and you are deflecting it. Neighbor, what they should be talking about down in St. Elizabeth is to go on the platform to say, to distance themselves from the vice notes.
Yes.
That's what they should be down there doing, because they can't come back from this.
Or you think that politically it will hurt them badly?
Of course, neighbor. This is probably the worst thing that has ever happened to the PNP. And because they will not be made to live it down.
But that also will depend on how the Jamaica Labour Party brings it to the table, and well, not the table, but into the political discussions and reveal the various nuances about it. Eh?
You heard. Normally, let's say a Darrell Vaz came out. You heard him.
Yes.
Right. But when was the last time you heard a Richard Query?
And a Tavares Finson and a Dr. Chan.
What does that tell you, neighbor?
Well, yeah.
It tells you it wakes up every single sleeping labourite.
Yeah, that's true.
And even if they were under a rock, everybody is incensed by this.
Yeah, including you.
Of course.
Because I haven't heard you in a while.
Neighbor, let me tell you. I mean, I have been kind of staying on the sidelines. I've not even gone on TikTok, neighbor, to be honest with you, because things are getting crunch time now.
Yes.
And neighbor, when I heard the voice note, I had to listen it 2 and 3 and 4 times, because I'm like, I must AI.
Yes. Well.
Yeah. I was like, I must AI and somebody kind of, because it couldn't be 2 senior members of the People's National Party in a voice note concocting something like that.
Right. Under a little bit of pressure there, Barry, but hold on there for me. TV man? Hello? TV man?
Yeah, man, I'm here. I'm here.
Good night to you, sir. You are in St. Mary.
Yeah, man, I'm in St. Mary, man. The MP, man. The MP, what we have here, man. The MP, what we have here.
Yes. Tell me something. Have you heard the voice note from the PNP? It come over St. Mary there yet?
I've heard it and I listened to it. This is not only 2 of them.
Oh.
Listen to the words of the voice note. Good, it's not just 2.
It's 3. 3 of them, yes.
They said we have to put a package it together.
Yes.
This is body of the PNP. This is not the first. Remember, they are the same man who derailed them own party in 2016. That's what they concoct. This is a story that them put together. This is how them push them. Remember them use it and push them portion of one whole, you know. They use the same thing and sabotage portion one at a time, you know.
What you say to me?
Yeah, man, remember that then did a sabotage portion and we don't talk about she can't read and all these things.
I never know that.
Yeah, man. Check history, man.
Well, we'll have to do that.
Yeah, man, check it, man. Why say she can't read and she can't this and she done and them have to put her on the back burner as much as she and the leader, them have to put her on the back burner and all these things. Can't put her up front to face the media and all these things. And a single man now and whole at that time. How can you own your yard? And other people come tell us, say, when people come and get enough, they go talk because they don't want to see you. And then they want to see the visitor in your yard, they want to see. Can you imagine, sir?
Yes, sir.
This is how the PNP portion. I said PNP went to Porsche, and when they come out, they hijack the party and take over from Peter Phillips. They're the same one do it in 2016. Lawrence Rowan tell you. But we now listen to these people coming from the PNP and talking. The other girl come over to JLP. She was telling you to. See, my guy, they come out with a good, with the vibe, but when come out, come talk. When name, Andre, when name again, the young one with them blacklist from the party. Well, come on, come talk. What kind of person they are?
The Professor Andre Horton.
These people, I don't know them been doing it. Remember them when tried on Thiago and Thiago called PG Black Scandal, but you ain't them blood long time. PNP do this a long time. Then use it and tear down Bruce. Then use it and push Peter Phillips aside. So these people and push a lot of them Craig Wood aside. Then push Craig Wood aside and tell like when they done after them and spend up in money. Them use a lot of things. I don't know. PNP do these things. And they still have more than a cabinet in a little skeleton plastic for use there.
Hold on, the little what? The little what?
In a little skeleton closet for use.
Oh,
they have a lot more for
skeleton closet. Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. Then turtle. Listen to me.
Yes.
Over PNP, a dog nyam dog. Once you disagree with anything that
No, sir, I can't agree. Dog nyam dog in the PNP.
That's how they operate. Once you disagree with what PNP plan to do and you're not on board, then see you as an enemy.
Dog nyam dog in the Comrade Party, sir?
Look, all right, how much people resigned from the PNP within 2 years? Within the last 2 to 3 years, how much people resigned? It's over 6 people left the PNP. You know? The professor, Miss Chin, the two were run from the PNP, the Labour right ticket down at Westmoreland there. Over 6 people leave the PNP. You know?
And just a minute, the TV, man. We even agree to hello neighbor. All right. I wonder if we're really taking a look at Isaac Buchanan.
He might go left too, shortly.
All right.
Shortly. He's going shortly. He's going shortly. If you live out this year, you live out enough. I can't tell you that.
Here, Isaac Buchanan is right now in the PNP. Julian Chang was being targeted from a very long time, since election.
Since election. Then this year was Labour right. They said she was Labour right. The way she were talking and operating, they said she was Labour right. Then the plan to get rid of it.
Anybody who cares for the people is going to be targeted by the PNP. You cannot be cared for the people because you must remember.
You must not.
Because the PNP has to, by any means necessary, sabotage the government. And anything that them can do, yes, to let the poor people of this country
don't get benefit.
The poor, vulnerable people of this country, anything that them can do to mess up them brain, to say that it is happening because of the present government, they are going to do it. That's what the PNP is doing.
Remember, I know, we don't cut you, but remember, I know, Desmond McKenzie sent someone now Westmoreland, they said, look, go make the base for the house, them. I still long they hold on for the money down there. I send it back, I touch it, some I use it now. I delay it out. I send back the money and take it back. I not pay the contractor. I still not pay the contractor. Then when I give them ultimatum, pay the contractor.
God, I tell you something.
I don't know the money is the delay. So why you using it?
Yeah, man. Look at the price. Look at the price leakage now. They are the target for that is Major Anderson, right? He is innocent. They cannot find anything negative about him. So what they are going to do now is to plan delay tactics so that the delay tactics backfire on him.
Yes.
And them say he's corrupt.
Right. Because
they
first
have to create the corruption, you know.
What you know? First they were trying to get somebody into the Nara thing.
Yes.
But they couldn't get nobody in the Nara. So that's why you hear them scream out and make nice. So when they couldn't get nobody in the Nara now, I'm getting nobody on the board and get nobody in a system for control. One part of it for make sure they look bad for who are running. Then find out to them if they start squeal. So that's why, watch me now. The same civic group unite with them. But they will want to push somebody that them know in there. So that get to the people them. That not get to the people them. And then they have it to talk for the election coming up. So watch me now. All the money the government give them, they take it and put. Do you remember me telling them from the other day, say, these people are not for the people and the media is not with Jamaica. Because the media could have opened Jamaican people eyes to these things long time, but the media sit down and the civic group they know what they're doing. And then God, did you ever come and tell you that Miss Dan Jackson Miller, they got this meeting, the NEC meeting.
Hold on. You mean Miss Jackson Miller is got NEC meeting?
She got these meeting with them, the hierarchy meeting.
And what you saying to me? Hold on there. I wonder if she was on the tape.
And not only she. Not only she. The civics group people.
No. you mean say Dan Jackson Miller go a PNP NEC meeting, sir?
Listen me now. And then little people come out as
Don't move on from that yet. Hold on, TVJ man. I call him hold on. No, but I call him TVJ man. No, it's not TVJ man. It's TV man. How you know that say Dan Jackson go NEC?
I couldn't believe it, man. You didn't ever tell us I couldn't believe it because watch me. These are things I'm
No, but I don't want you make Miss Dan Jackson Miller sue me with libel, sir. You saw Mrs. Dan Jackson Miller going in a lipstick.
I said chick go and tell her to answer me tomorrow morning.
Like a puss. Puss in a lipstick.
Go to that meeting. And she got to take this and me that thing. She got to me that thing.
Oh, yes, that is right. She went there to cover it as a journalist. You don't think so?
That was private. A private thing. And she come out and talk nothing about it on our media. And don't you talk about it was a private thing.
Oh my God. So you said you saw Miss Dan Jackson Miller going to NEC.
She go to the meeting.
Oh my God.
She in line with them. And the civics group are in line with them.
Jeez.
So that's why the civics group can't come out and talk.
Oh, what you saying to me?
People sitting.
They show you nice. Hold on.
Discussing belief.
All right. Look here. I'm not like me a journalist now. The civics group like, come on, say something. Can you hear them say anything? You hear them say anything? You see them hold their head because them in line with Wagwan. You say go to march right here. You say go to march right here. They know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. This is not just them try to hold
on, TV man. Oh my God, I tell you something. I'm coming to you. Oh boy, I tell you. Somebody said
One on the TV, man. You remember when Dennis Chang was installed in the
you know what? Nobody with them can control. They couldn't control Dennis Chang and they know that long time.
No, you see what them did after that? Them go and them have a demonstration. No, they are planning to have a demonstration about Major General and this. No, but guess what? They can't find anything. So in order to reach to that point, they have to create it that it backfire. But this vice note now send them back to hell. That's what the vice note did, you know.
Listen to me. Yeah, people like you only the vice note. You have to only the vice note. First, when lead the vice note, when they look and see how long they in PNP and now reach now, we have to go people and take over there, you know.
Yes. And the curse.
After the vice note, I take them down, you know. I sabotage them back now, you know. Because I feel like say, I get them one, get rid of fetch your wedding then. We want them if we are holding some position right now. That's why I said the vice want to leave. Because if it was anything good where everybody went hands and gloves up, you know, this would have never leaked.
Yes.
And the first they've been doing this, they know what they're doing. Them do do it. So when you hear them talk something that's something, when you hear them come accuse people about things and call you corruption and things, they know they're planning. They know them plans. Them and the IC in a bed together, man.
Well, I don't know about that.
Them and the IC in bed. Them and the IC in bed together. Or can they come out and talk about all the things? Watch me now. The IC, you know, I forgot to try find things to justify when they come out and say, 6 members of the JLP are under investigation. Which 6 I can't find now. So watch me now. They might try to it weekly, but it don't like it to work out. So what we know, they might jump on to somebody that's got to have to find somebody to put out to say, yes, see there, Mr. Golden, them did right. But then can't get it like what they want it. So then they start from weekly, because them say 2 weekly, they have the little thing where go on with him and then try to say, no, they come out right. Then try to come back with a alternative. Okay, you want to investigate a man with things where him have before you even come in the part, before you even exist. Or you investigate a man. Or that answer the question. You investigate me, I may have things and done my things and before your office even exists and you come and investigate me for that way you never know about how me get it. You see, these people are crazy. They know what they're doing. Them have it planned. They now go certify the Prime Minister thing because then tell themselves say them a draw it over in an election, Paris County election to come. And them a look something they know. Them a save up all the money they can hold on. And that's why you see the money when them a talk about then get $3 million. How can you get $3 million for and spend $4.5 million? You see these people don't know maths. And still take 900,000 tied for taxi fare and bus and transportation.
Oh, then can I count it? By the way, TV man, the party is over in St. Elizabeth as we speak at a town hall meeting saying that saying the government is delaying support for the people. What?
No, that's what I'm worried.
Huh?
When they do over there tell the government that delay.
Yes.
When them are doing with them tax, them are do that the same thing them accuse you for you do.
Yes.
And what the media then? We don't know media we question them. You hear me tell about the media? We don't know media, neighbor. We don't know media. We don't know like that, neighbor. We don't know media. Jamaica one man we try nationwide. You can listen to and get one thing and find out. And the blogger them and give you the story. The good blogger them and give you the story before the media station even know anything, you know. After news media station start feed off a blogger station now, you know.
What are you saying to me?
Media station a feed off a blogger station now, off a bloggers now. Because when one man dead run the car, they don't stand and hear it from the here and they don't have no proof about it and they don't know it go. Then listen to when they find out say a blogger they have it and spin it. After then just put one tag point and say early this morning there 2 men get shot down. They never have the name of the people, but two men got shot by the police or 2 men was shot. That's how they put it and they can't confuse the story of it. They know say early this morning 2 men were shot by the police and whatsoever. That's about it and then just put on a news thing and package it.
Well,
yeah, man.
Bloggers are running things now, eh?
Trust me, man. Never. Out the road, you know. There's nothing you don't want to know. I want you to want to know it. Out the road I go on. Just going to work, driving, picking up a man, give a ride sometime. Yeah, but you're surprised to know the story where you get and where you hear. There's nothing, look here, in the eyes of PNP, who say PNP as PNP, there's nothing wrong for them, you know. They never do nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. So nobody try to convince the people to vote for you. Nobody convince the people to do nothing when election time come. Just go. What I want Mr. Wallace to do is go, let the G2K get in wings and put down feather and start to travel and engage some town hall meeting with young people. Engage town hall meeting, invite them to join the G2K, let them get benefit, teach them about business, young entrepreneur, where they can start their life from. Oh, just leave school, what you can do.
Yeah.
Oh, we can push you through something. That's what I want Mr. Wallace to start do.
Hold on a little bit for me. Hold on a little bit for me there. I need to go to Protecting Jamaica.
Yeah, man, don't you remember, I will get back on. I will still listen. I'm listening, but get to it.
Thank you.
Go back. Yeah.
Hello, Protecting.
Good evening, neighbor.
Hi, man. Good evening to you.
Something I meant nice in my background there. Oh, good evening, listeners. Everybody, Caroline.
Mute Harry for me.
Barry, Harry, good evening, everybody. Good evening, listeners. How do?
Doing all right. What's on your mind, Protecting?
Well, I'm glad for the voice note them.
Oh?
Yeah, man. I'm glad because for quite a while, since 2023, may I tell people that this is how the PNP operate.
You are saying that they have proved you correct?
Yes, man. But you see, as a blogger, sometimes, you know, all people are going to say that, oh, you support one side already, so they don't really want to listen to you. You know?
But in terms of the broader politics of this though protecting, how do you read what the politics will look like from here on? Is there going to be a significant change in terms of perception?
There is a power in nature, neighbor, none of us can get away from. And this power is the principal power that establishes nature. It is very simple, you know. Once there is left, there is right. Once there is up, there is down. Now, this is the very strategy that was employed on Andrew Holness about 6 years ago. Them rolled it out about 5 years ago fully. And the strategy is, and that is when the PNP regained some stability. Because after they kick out Peter Phillips, you know, they start coming back together now and Mark Golding, you know, spend up some money. The strategy was damage Holness. Because again, you have to damage the people with the influence in politics. That's their strategy. That's how they work. It is the very same thing I was telling people, because somebody who attended a few of the meetings did not have any recording, because some of the meetings on Holness, only a few people were allowed to have their devices in the meetings. And every time he attended the meeting, he linked me and say, yo, this is what they plan, this is a strategy. And I remember my earlier videos, I used to say to people, said, this is what they're going to do, this is what they're coming with, and this is orchestrated. But because you know, I have nothing to back it, you know, people are going to just not listen. I am happy for these voice notes, because these voice notes now, even though they are planning for Major General Anderson, it is the same plan they plan at the NEC for Andrew Holness, Dennis Strong, and the same plan they plan for destroy Christopher Tufton. And again, the people of Jamaica played a very important role. Very important. Very, very important. We played a very important role, neighbor. And I stressed this in some time past, that we were working wonders for the Jamaica Labour Party, but I don't think the party realized what we were doing. We were working wonders because guess what? We were providing ear cover. And they have heard me use that term before.
Yeah, a military term, eh? Ground and air.
Yes, we were providing ear cover. And it was important, and I kept at it. Even, I almost get fired from a job. Because I equal little time to do YouTube and to do this. I don't have time, you know, neighbor, sometime, you know. But guess what? The voice is needed to continue in the public space.
Yes.
And that is important. The voice is needed to continue. We needed to continue to say what we're saying. No, this is going to put a big pause on the PNP strategy. Politically, this is not fearing out.
Before you connect it, there are some people who are saying, protecting that. This is political strategizing from an opposition that they are playing politics. Is this politics? How do you take this out of the realm of politics, politicking?
It is politics, neighbor, but it is dirty, nasty politics. But here is what they have begun to work on the spin to counter this already, you know. It is us who need, if you notice the Jamaican Labour Party over the past couple of days, almost everybody in the party comment on this. Because we need to let it remain a part of the conversation. One of the most destructive things about this in a neighbor.
But what is the difference? What is the difference between this and how politics is practiced generally? I listened today, for example, hold on. I listened today, for example, to the opposition leader over there in the UK. Andy Burnham is the new prime minister. And she said, I'm not going to give him a free ride. In other words, she's going to be, you know, she's not going to be endorsing. Right. Yes. She's going to give him a bumpy ride. That is politics, correct?
But our neighbor, politics on the issues.
Yes, absolutely. I want you to make, but that's the point I want you to make is what is the difference here between the natural politics that parties practice right across the world and what the party is seeking to do here?
So natural politics are politics practice, as you say, in other parts of the world that focus on the issues, because there are always issues. There are always national issues that you can debate, and you can have very rigorous debates on national issues. But when the issues are leaving you, when there is hardly anything you can contribute of substance to the issues, for example, let's identify a few things in the country. The PNP cannot credibly speak on crime anymore. So they have to shelf that. They cannot credibly speak on the economy anymore. So they have to shelf that.
But then that would mean that the PNP is politically dunce because crime has not been solved in Jamaica.
No, but the people of Jamaica, they realize, because you see, one thing with the PNP, you know, they're always taking the pulse on the ground. They always have people on the ground. They always have people on the ground. So they know that the people have realized that murders are trending down. People are more safer. People are more, receptive to what the government is doing as it relates to national security. So they know they cannot win an argument there. So what is happening is that one by one, the issues are being addressed. No,
but shouldn't that force you to become a better opposition in terms of thinking about the issues and coming with other alternatives?
Yes, neighbor. But it is now exposing that has never truly been the nature of the People's National Party.
I think you have a point.
It has never truly been the nature of the People's National Party. The People's National Party has always appealed to the emotions of Jamaican people. And so the sweet mouth and the propaganda and the fixing up and the nicing up. And then when they get into office now, everybody line them pocket and everybody who voted them in office are suffer. As Dayton Campbell say, them a look up in a comrade, them house stop and them a see star on the moon. So because it is not the PNP's nature, what is happening is, in real time, Andrew Holness is moving so fast, the country is really improving, and it's happening so quickly. So much so that it's not giving them an opportunity to slow down, to do some introspection, to recalibrate, and to come again.
In other words, the politics now is at a level that is operating above the PNP's capacity.
Above the PNP, yes. It's operating above the PNP's capacity. And it is what is creating this difficulty for them. And so they go back to their foundation all the time. And it is always about personal attack.
Hold on, don't move from that point. So you are saying, because that is what politics is ought to be about, protecting, about ideas, in the space where people debate ideas on policies, on education, on health. And you are saying that historically the PNP has always practiced a ray type of politics. And once there are problems in the country, the PNP is relevant. But if you solve Jamaica's problem, the PNP is now forced to match the Labour Party with policy ideas, and they are struggling.
And guess what, neighbor? From the information I got from within the PNP, they realize that this is what Andrew Holness is doing. Andrew Holness is ticking off the issues one by one, which leaves no ground for the PNP to stand and to function. They realize this. So, what the only next best thing to do is to muddy the water. And a part of what they're good at is to confuse the nation. Once you muddy the water, you confuse the people. So it's sort of an antagonistic kind of thing, and then you hope for something to fall off or go wrong, which things sometimes will go to whack. And you jump on that, you pounce on it. But again, what I've been saying for the longest while, neighbor, as long as the government stays on the ground with its political machinery and continue to speak with the people, the PNP has no space. Them not no space. Stay on the ground. You have heard me said this many times.
Yeah. In other words, the weakness and the thing that has given the PNP a little bit of relevance over the last couple of months is an absence of the Labour Party in the trenches.
It's an absence of the Labour Party in the trenches.
But you feel that space quite well protected, in the trench, man.
Yeah, but I don't have a time for too much of the trenches.
Yeah,
I mean, the Wheatley thing, though, neighbor.
Uh-huh.
The Wheatley situation has to be managed properly because it's not so much that it gives the PNP, this kind of golden ball. What it has done is it has kind of created a pause. And the best, the only option that Wheatley had, and he has taken it, go to the court. Make the court trash it out. Because, neighbor, listen to me, neighbor. Again, when we have the academic discussions, we have to remember sometimes that we might even end up talk over some people's head. No, there is no way Andrew Wheatley have assets, real estate assets, for the past 10, 15, or maybe 20 years, and they have not appreciated in value.
Yes.
The IC coupled with the PNP and the Gleaner conglomerate, they're trying to trick us. Right now, neighbor, if you buy a piece of land for $1 million and spend $3 million below a 2-bedroom house, by the time you're done build the house and paint it up, it values maybe 12 million.
Yes.
Real estate appreciates in value, and especially the landscape in Jamaica today. We have been experiencing appreciation for the past 10 years of real estate value. So it can't be that Andrew Wheatley buy a property for $1 in a 2001 or 1999, but you expect in 2026 that his asset value is not going to be more than his earning. What kind of nonsense is that? That is not evidence. Go to the court. His assets are appreciating in value.
Uh-huh.
But guess what? The PNP, the Gleaner, and the IC knows that the regular people of Jamaica who go to the polling station, go turn up in a line for 2, 3, 4 hours and vote. They don't understand this. They don't understand it. So these are the tactics they're using, neighbor. I have a video now on YouTube that I try to differentiate between a coup d'etat and a soft coup.
Ah.
With a soft coup, you use institutions, you manipulate institutions to trick the people because institutions have some credibility and appeals to the people frontally. So you manipulate the institution to communicate using certain languages to the people, sometimes vague languages, to trick the people. So they're not just attacking the person by attacking your character, but they're manipulating the IC to use the IC to put some report out there. When you realize, when Kevin Stevens put his report together, it is 10 pages of word salad, legal jargons, and all those nonsenses. And they make sure they use word in there, corruption, illicit enrichment. They make sure they use those buzzwords. Those are trigger words. There's no evidence. What kind of evidence are you going to take to the court, neighbor? You might have some knowledge of how the court run. You think you can go before a judge, go say, oh, this man only earned $10. But in value, the man has 60 or 70. In value, is $40, but him only earn $10. If him the power hurt for 60 years, must have more value than way I earn now. Accumulate it over time. That can't be evidence. And these are the things that they are doing and they're not working. So in the middle of all of that, they're meeting at the NEC and they're planning to destroy people's character. Because once they destroy your character, they know say Jamaican love it passa. And they mix up. And then once you appeal to them emotionally, then you're going to catch them. And this is what the PNP have always been about. And it is no different now. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, neighbor. Them get catch. Because from what I heard, a couple of people who are part of these discussions do not agree with this approach.
Uh-huh.
They don't like it. You have some people are part of these discussions me here where them rather back in the day when you had debate the issues. Or you figure try destroy a man. And as Stevie Man said earlier, where is civil society?
Yeah.
How them not defend Major General Anthony Anderson?
Yeah.
Why are they not defending him? Why are they not protecting this man that have served Jamaica well in the army, in the police force, and in the rest of the government? Why are they not defending and protecting him?
And as ambassador to the United States.
And as ambassador to Washington.
Uh-huh.
You think you could have reached Washington, and when America do a check on you, you feel that check and you still end up at Washington?
Not at all.
These people are wicked. I mean, I try to show people long time, but I'm glad when I hear for myself. See, I saw them sit down and plan. They have nothing else to give to Jamaica, you know. All them want is to be at the helm of power. I remember in 2011, because I know Damian Crawford, you know. 2010, Damian Crawford owe him landlord rent. And by 2015, Damian Crawford live up uptown. I've also uptown value 100 million.
Oh.
We have to face reality. Them want the center of power because all they're good for is lying in them pocket.
Uh-oh.
And we must not allow them to paint and plaster our representatives. You know what the PNP have been good at, neighbor?
Uh-huh.
The man them with PNP and the women with PNP take up from all about. You don't know nothing about them. Them never even own a pair of shoes in their life. But they were good community activists. Some of them were dance. But me now will call the name.
Uh-huh.
And then bring them into the spotlight, get people, then package them, promote them, get people to vote for them. And two then come into politics, then turn rich. And what the PNP has been good at is to promote their members as people of integrity while they're selling the Jamaica Labour Party members as thieves. No. What is the flip side of what the PNP have always offered? The flip side is that the members who come in the Jamaica Labour Party are always established members who have their money already, who have businesses. Some of them shut down their business to come in at the politics, go help the country. Like somebody like Audrey Marks, we almost cry when they help on TV. Are serious things, listen up. And then when they come, who have already been established, we allow the PNP to sully these people's character and paint them as corrupt and thief. When are the PNP, them are the criminal. And because we're so bossy and prim and proper, we don't think so. We feel highlight that them are the crook and they are in a criminal organization over there. So what is wrong with us?
Never remind you of something.
Hold on, Professor, though. Let's wrap with protecting. Also protecting, I'm going to have to run you here because I'm running out of time.
No problem, neighbor. Only 5 minutes, me did promise. So, I wrap me up here now if I go continue my work.
All right, man.
But me I go and listen to a man. So, no continue the discussion. Let me hear what Professor say.
Thank you so much. Let's go to, hold on, Professor. Let's go to Andrew. Andrew, I'm coming to you, my Professor. Andrew, good evening to you.
Neighbor, before you go to Andrew, going to ask the listeners over on YouTube to just press that X button at the top and give the live stream a thumbs up, please. And please remember to subscribe and listen to Protecting JA videos on YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so that's Protecting Jamaica on YouTube. We invite you to go over there and subscribe to his channel also. Yes, Andrew. Hi, good evening to you. Andrew Cunningham. Okay, Andrew is not there. Let's.
No, man, I'm there, neighbor. Come on, you move too fast.
Oh, why I tell you. Good night to you. Everyone. Yes, what
I understand, but neighbor. May I tell you, a long time I watch a program, before even the election.
Yes.
May I watch a program, and
Now, be honest with you.
Yes.
Come on it quite a few times. And you run this program very well.
Well, thank you.
Very well. And you don't deal with hearsay. You deal with the facts.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm going to say this, just to say that, I just was over someone live. I'm not going to call no name, but I was just over someone live. And I believe, you know, when you're talking, when you're giving people facts and evidence and say, well, hey, listen, you can go and look it up. You can go and look up certain things, what's going on, why this leak, and quite a few people who said that they're in Jamaica. I am not in Jamaica. I'm all the way in Massachusetts, right? And I can get that leak from more than one news media outlet. Are you telling me that the average Jamaicans who then are Jamaican never hear that leak? And when you're telling them, they must say, "Oh, them is the first time I hear it," and whatever.
You mean there are persons in Jamaica that have not heard of the PNP leak?
Yes, man. Yes.
But then there are many people that many people wouldn't hear it, sir. Remember, Jamaicans are
many people. But what I'm saying, overall, what I'm saying is, okay, I am telling them, say, well, hey, this is what's going on and whatever, right? And I said, they said, oh, you know, I mean, it's allegedly or whatever. I said, listen, it's what the news media bringing. They disclaim nationwide, and and I was like, oh, nationwide, them never come and tell nothing truthful and whatever. And I was like, well, all you have to do is go and look it up and see what's going on, because, like I said, if the PNP was in power and they're doing a good job, I will give them credit. We are human beings. You understand what I'm saying? And I am a patriot. I am a Jamaican where we want good for the country. I am not just all about politics and whatever. It's all about good for Jamaican. Because when you go outside and someone asks you, where are you from? And you say you're from Jamaica. They praise Jamaican. And we have behaved over this internet. Why they don't not saying this thing where we are on, but other people who doing their live and whatever, and they behave such a way and paint a picture on the government, because they are making it seem like one guy saying that, oh, the government used the taxpayer money and gone a World Cup. And I'm looking at it like this. And this is what I cannot understand and I don't get. So the government, the Prime Minister is not a human being.
By the way, so I saw Dr. Wheatley at a conference. Hold on, I saw Dr. Wheatley at a conference representing Jamaica. I'm not sure what is a conference, but I think it was on some matters having to do with his portfolio. And as I looked at Dr. Wheatley at that conference, I said to myself, here is a bright Jamaican man, very well learned, Dr. Wheatley. I think Dr. Wheatley is a scientist, and he lectures at the university. And as I saw him sitting there, you could see that he was representing the country well.
Right.
And I said to myself, no, look at one of our finest sons. A black man.
Right.
A black man came into politics to serve his people, would have been smart enough to, put himself together. And somehow we're trying to destroy him, sir. I'm serious. It is very sad. It is very sad.
It is sad.
And I really hope that Dr. Wheatley will fight for his rights. because he does have a right to. But you know, and hold on, and I'm wondering, sir, the politics of the league, if this is not just part of how the Jamaican politics operates at levels of institutions too, where we try to destroy people. Huh? I mean, what are we going to do when we push out of the politics someone like Dr. Wheatley? Jamaica does not have a large pool of talents, you know, sir.
He's just a handful.
We need someone like Dr. Wheatley in the politics, sir. We need Dr. Wheatley in the politics. Dr. Wheatley is a smart, talented man. Quite frankly, you know, Dr. Wheatley don't need politics to make money, you know. A man of Dr. Wheatley's skill don't need politics to make money. Dr. Wheatley is a scientist, sir. Dr. Wheatley is a well skilled, educated man. No, because don't take him light, you know.
But neighbor, let me tell you this. You have to understand.
By the way, if Dr. Wheatley, if you are listening, good evening to you, sir. Good evening to you. I saw you at the conference representing Jamaica. Congratulations, man. Good evening.
Neighbor,
yeah, go ahead, sir.
You have to understand, neighbor. You see, in Jamaica society right now, and this has been going on long before me and you. You understand what I'm saying? That no care how you as a person saying, you know what I mean? I'll just put it as an inner city person trying to rise up. You always have somebody, could be a friend. You know, and not only say only Jamaica, but it happens so often in Jamaica where they know the potential of that person. They know the weight. They know the level of education what that person have. But they still will discredit him. They still will undermine him. They will still put all type of stuff.
Yes, sir. And what we may end up with if we're not careful is this new breed in a tight jeans. Yes.
Oh yeah.
In a tight jeans, and long, you know, them tongue and massaging microphone. That's what. Huh?
Cleavage are showing.
Yeah, with them cleavage showing and bumper, pan back and all of them stuff.
Yeah, man, you gone through the door already,
yes.
neighbor.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, sir. The world.
Don't forget the massage mic, sir.
Yeah, and massage. The world is getting very complex. Very complex. You know, one of the things today is the Prime Minister's birthday, and I listen to the Prime Minister from time to time how he speaks, and it is clear to me that the Prime Minister is either taking good advice, him have a good teacher, or he must study. The Prime Minister, I use some words when he speak that you have to draw for your dictionary. The Prime Minister get really bright, you know. And you know, he never start out like this. He has grown to be a brilliant man. And you know what? You know why I like that? The world, sir, is getting increasingly complex. The geopolitical environment is not one that requires leadership that is not on top of their game. And we don't need no new breed to be in charge of our country. So we need people who are well learned in the skills of state and management and all of that. Yes.
If I may, just for about 60 seconds again, not to interrupt, but you know, a thought came to mind today, and it was in a discussion with somebody. No, the thought had lingered for quite a while, you know, but it just came back fresh in my mind today that the Prime Minister has become a very established leader. Now, you know what is happening, neighbor? The people of Jamaica must understand. The people who are listening here and on YouTube must understand. The PNP went after Christopher. The PNP went after the Prime Minister. The PNP went after Dr. Chang, and the PNP, they are going after Andrew Wheatley. You know what's happening in those ministries, neighbor? The Prime Minister is leading from the front and he is building out Jamaica. So you must have to attack somebody like that to tear them down, because if he builds Jamaica out, there will be no space for you politically to survive. Dr. Chang, when they saw that Jamaica was about to turn the corner, because remember the PNP have people in these ministries, you know, they went after Dr. Chang. And Dr. Chang stood his ground. And today we are experiencing, since 2023, we're experiencing a 74% decline in murders since 2023 to now. Christopher Tufton, when the people them were them having at the Ministry of Health, informed them what Chris Tufton was about. New hospitals and all them, something the health service are improved. They went after Chris Tufton. Why? Not because Chris Tufton do nothing wrong. But they have to attempt to stop these people in their tracks, because if these people continue unopposed, then the build out of these important sectors that are usually political football is not going to give the PNP any prominence. No. Jamaica is leading the Caribbean in establishing an AI framework, how to govern AI, how to build out technology. As a matter of fact, Jamaica is leading the rest of the Caribbean in building out technology and how we use technology in the country. Who would you go after next? The most Wheatley? But the Prime Minister realized this, and the Prime Minister have stood his ground. When them ball for Lego Chang, the Prime Minister said, no, hold your ground. When them ball for Lego Tufton, the Prime Minister said, no, stay away there. And now them a ball for Lego Wheatley. And as you say, neighbor, Wheatley's a very bright man, and he knows what he's doing. The Prime Minister now making going away. And I want the Jamaican people to see this and understand it for what it is. Pure nasty politics.
Yeah, and I think that is the leaning, because I've looked at these things over time, and I don't normally comment on them without thoroughly analyzing it. The fact of the matter is that we don't need Wheatley. We need Wheatley more than Wheatley need us as a country. I can tell you that. Okay, and if we continue to destroy the best and brightest among us, who we are going to have in government? Come on, guys, come on.
But neighbor, I want to say something to you. These people are practicing what they're doing. They try for that. They try it with Dalrymple and practice of a Dalrymple and two Dalrymple. They step aside for the little time. Them say yes. So you notice they push hard at the Prime Minister at the same time. Because them say, like how we get down Dalrymple. So you see them come to their house now. They might try with that with Miss Wellness. Yeah. And they make sure put Nikisha on Miss Wellness to get rid of her. Get her frustrated and fed up.
Well,
but them know what they're doing. They're playing them game and so when they sit down and talk and plan. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Let's hear from Professor Strength. He never got a chance to contribute. Go ahead, Professor Strength.
All right. Yeah, all right. I wanted to bring back your attention to something from way back in the 70s when Protecting JA was speaking about, you know what I mean? You remember when the famous speech of Michael Manny when he said, better must come? From right there, so the PNP begin to work that kind of a way that they are doing now. Because you must remember, that back in the 60s, better was already there, and the country was growing, and the country was doing very well. A lot of school was being built, a lot of medical center was being attended to, and many things was happening, a lot of road infrastructure was being developed, and all of these things were happening back in the 60s. Now, when that leader of the opposition, which was Michael Manley, then saw that, then he made this speech and said, better must come. And then the people love to hear that. And the people gravitate towards that. What happens after that? 2 years later, the country collapsed. Just 2 years, The country went down, and you have to go to the international multilateral lending agencies.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So when you're talking about the PNP, what they are doing and how they create these narrative, it is coming from a mighty long way. It's not just yesterday. It is because of this Prime Minister, he shed this huge light over the PNP that these things are now showing up. But it has always been around.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Professor. Let's give Honeybee a little time. Hey, Honeybee, good night to you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening, neighbor.
Good evening to you, Honeybee. Hi, how are you?
I understand the PNP is in St. Elizabeth tonight, and I would like to. I'm wondering, after this vice note, what would they be telling the people after the devastating hurricane that hit that part of the country, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and part of St. James? I am wondering what the people thinking now after this vice note is released, saying that they are trying to delay and they are trying to cook up something against the head of NARA, right? So
remember though that the PNP is there speaking to its supporters. And the PNP supporters, sadly, Honeybee, the PNP supporters, sadly, don't mind if Andrew Holness call the election tomorrow and then win.
But when the hurricane came, though, it didn't single out whether you're PNP or Labour, right?
Yeah, but hold on. The PNP don't mind if tomorrow morning they hear say Holness resign, the whole cabinet resign, and Mark Golding becomes prime minister. That is how.
And that is why, since even though they are suffering, nothing can deter them from their base, right? And they don't mind if they have to suffer some more as long as their party becomes government. So what I am saying, the labor rights that are going on and talking about not now go on and some people are benefit, you have to set yourself up to benefit. There's nobody's going to don't work. There's nobody's going to come and grease your palm every time you need to put on your pot for dinner. You need to find that for yourself. So the mentality that some of these, as I tell you, say there is some labor right that I call flip-flop labor right, you know. Because they're not steady, they're not firm.
You are saying that they are flip-flop labor rights, man?
Yes.
Why you say that? Hold on. Why you say that?
Because if you are going to, if every, my grandmother say, every winner doctrine pass, you collect it. If you can't stand firm and see what the government is trying to do to benefit everyone in this country.
But you said they are flip-flop.
You are going to join
yes.
the other side to say, no, now go on. And you have to make something go on. Nobody.
Labor rights are saying nothing now go on. Hold on. Labor rights are saying that?
Labor rights that is saying it. Rusty tell you the other night. And it's true, he's talking. You have labor rights that are saying it.
He never said that. Did he say that? I think he was making
some labor rights is saying that.
An appeal for
now go on and them now feel the prosperity. Or are you? The first thing you have to do is make yourself marketable, and if you're not willing to step out of your comfort zone and do what you need to do to benefit you, then what do you expect to go on? There's nobody that's gonna come here and rock you in the cradle. There's no time for that.
I think he was making a broader point though about engaging. How the party engages with his workers. Chops Media made a point here, and I've thought about it often. Chops Media used an illustration that I think it's powerful.
Neighbor,
hold on.
I know of labor rights, no joke, that they work in election time, they benefit from whatever is there. And as soon as something come around and they did not get this time around, they start to tell you, all me now go back and vote, because what? And you get all the time. But the one time they said, okay, this person, let us help this person is more in need. You start to utter something else.
One thing I can say, ma'am, and I'm repeating it, that every online blogger, now, I have 385 people up here. Another maybe 600 over YouTube. That's a small fraction of Jamaica.
Yes.
One other man may have another 200 on his platform right now. One other man may have 60. One other man may have 30. One other girl may have 80. Whatever the numbers are. Everybody number add up to about 10,000.
Everybody is needed neighbor.
Yes.
Remember.
So hold on now, man. Hold on. If a cricket team have 11 people, 8 of them are batsman or 7, 4 of them are bowler. You send out your openers, them take off the shine off of the ball. You put your number 3 batsman at him is the best one, and then your number 4. And if your openers out for ducks, number 3 need to go in and make runs. If number 3 make runs, number 4 must come and build on it. And at the end of the time, you see the team score 400 runs, man. The team, okay?
Yes.
At the end of the night, ma'am, Jamaica Labour Party team must score the runs. Not individual bloggers. Their contribution is going to be recognized at some other point. But at the end of the night, ma'am, it is the team that must win. You understand what I'm saying?
What I'm trying to say to you is that if you are not sure of where you're standing, or are you going to encourage people to say, listen to this, listen to this, do your research, understand that this is where the government want to take the country. If you that say you're a Labourite and you act unsure.
And let me tell you something, you see, ma'am. It is not only the host, you know. It's not only the host. Let me tell you something about cricket, you see, ma'am. On the Argentina side, that just play a one Messi.
Yeah.
One Messi. For France, it is Mbappe. You're always going to have in every team someone that is a star.
Yeah.
He's gifted. For the bloggers, that may be Chuck. Chuck may be the most gifted, or it may be Chops, or it may be Kimmy. You don't need to tear down your most gifted player. What you do with your most gifted player is to support. You notice how the Argentinians surround Messi when he even drop, man.
Yeah.
It's protect them. I protect Messi, you know.
Exactly.
Because the Argentinians know that if Messi come off of the app or come off of the team, Argentina no strong. And if Mbappe come off of the team, France no strong, man. And when West Indies were playing, Brian Lara, if Brian Lara sick, ma'am, the team in a problem, you know, because he's a special player. So if Kimmy is the special blogger, protect Kimmy. If it is Chops, then it's protect Chops. If it is,
that's my point.
You protect that person.
Even in, I remember in the 90s, neighbor, no matter how things were difficult, things were bad, you never, I really hear a PNP cry and say things bad when it was horrible.
Yes.
They support their party even when they're dying. So I'm not saying that if something is wrong, you are not supposed to speak out if you see your party, something happen and you want to say, okay, you don't support that. Nothing is wrong with that. That's your right. And you should. But I'm saying, if you are going to join with the people and say, so and so, and you're going to wonder, I wonder how Dr. Weekly get what in have. You know, if you're going to wonder that, you wonder that in your little space, you don't go out and say that, because you are now stripping away the integrity of your party. And I'm saying at this moment, with all this that come out, the PNP is still standing firm behind them party. You're not believing nothing. A matter of fact, they're going to say all is good in war. They're going to say it's just politics. But it's serious.
Yeah, man. And let me tell you something, ma'am. And I'm doubling down on this. Politics is about winning. What the PNP have done here is despicable. It is despicable. Hold on. It is despicable. But the politics that the party practice is that, as Harry described earlier, they are going to circle the wagon and protect the flock. I am saying to the Jamaica Labour Party bloggers online, cut out the damn foolishness. You need to come together and let your party win. Win. Don't miss the mission. The mission is greater than the man. The individuals are secondary to the party remaining in government. Okay? And I'm saying to you, ma'am, that if there is a star among you, the star is for your team. We are going to put the star upon the other team? Come on. That's foolishness.
Exactly my point. I'm saying you have to be united for the greater good. And the good is we have to stand firm and strong behind the party. If we want the change that is happening to continue, we have to be firm. We can't be, every win we shift, and we have to stand firm, because this vice note come out. You don't hear the PNP deny it. They did not. I didn't hear. No one came out and denied that it's a part of their executive that does it. And I'm saying, at the end of the day, they are still going with business as usual. They are incentivizing today, meeting with their base to say, is the government delaying the thing? But they are not saying what they are trying to do. And the tactics that they were planning to use, it did not work. And now this came up because they wanted to go through the parish council because they were planning to delay the process. And that did not work because they said in the vice note that they were outsmarted. Because they chose not to go through the parish council, that it could have any delays. So I'm saying they are still going on with business as usual. So we Labour Right, because I am a Labour Right, and I'm saying the bloggers and everybody come together as a united front and do what you have to do. Stand firm behind your party. They are not giving up, and we have to give up. There's no grace period. You didn't get time to celebrate the win, as Scratchy said. They are still in campaign mood. So we have to do the same.
Ma'am, and it's not only the bloggers. Listen, Caroline is a producer. She's a moderator. She's a Labour.
Excellent producer. She does an excellent
she's a Labour right to the bone, ma'am. Caroline wouldn't mind if I wear a green shirt. She wouldn't mind if I wear a green shirt come up here every night. She's a Labour right. And then you have Harry, you have Scratchy, you have Barry, you have TV Man, you have Protecting Jamaica, Andrew Cunningham, Honey B, the listeners, ma'am, the people who participate, those who are in the chat, they are all Labour rights. A lot of them are Labour rights. Some of them are comrades, but most of them are Labour rights. Why do you think they come on every night? Because they want to educate themselves. They want to arm themselves with the facts. They want to keep the momentum going.
I tune in every night, neighbor. Because Ari, I must say, big up Ari. Ari always. Because when Ari was going over the other day, was going over the situation with the contractor general before the 2012 signing off the toll road. And Ari was reading out the information. I'm saying those information is necessary for us to have, even if you're a Labour right, because there's some things that you as a Labour right still probably don't know.
Yeah.
And you get informed.
Yes, ma'am. You think 360 people up here because of my good looks? You think it's because I'm handsome and charming? No, they're not coming here to look at me.
So the information is
they are here, ma'am, because they want to hear things about the government, their party, so that when they speak, when they go on platforms, they can be more equipped. So we are a team, ma'am. Everybody is in here to do. So they may not come up online, but they are in the chat getting information, ma'am. The bloggers, ma'am, need to cut out the foolishness and make sure that the party wins at the end of the day. Anyway, gonna have to run, Honeybee.
But listen, neighbor.
Yeah.
You know you have to run.
Yes.
But me just want to say one thing, right? And the thing, what I'm trying to say, right? A little thing happened to me a couple of months ago, right? Where I have to think about it, right? All this time, I always help out my family member. You know what I mean? I help them out with back to school. I help them out with Christmas and all of these things, right? And, you know, I said every single time may I spend money, may I send money down there, which is not, to me, is not a problem for me. But I am saying, why not try to help them start a little small business and them can grow from that, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm going to put it to one of my my cousin, right? As, you know, saying, you know, I can help you out with a small business, you know, whatever, you know. You know, the first thing the person is going to look at me and say to me, they don't know how to do that.
Oh. The money they want, sir.
So, neighbor, no, the reason why I'm saying this, and the reason why I'm touching on this topic, because a lot of Jamaica, I'm not saying everybody in Jamaica overall, you know. But you see, once a day in America or once a day in a first world country, them things say, yeah, make the money a flow or whatever. And to you as a person who always trying to give generously and, you know, trying to help, you know, and
yes.
Them take it as, you know what I mean, like, you know, like if me I tell you know, as an individual, like, hey, you know, you can start a little something, you know, and so you can not have to depend on me all the time. You can be independent. And you don't want that? You want to just depend, you just want to depend on somebody all the day of your life?
Uh-huh.
That's crazy. So the reason why I'm saying it, because I have not only say PNP alone, but JLP as well too, you know. You know what I mean? Because like me say, you know, me a JLP to the bone, right? But me I try to show you say overall you have some Jamaican, it doesn't matter if a JLP or PNP, them love this handout thing. It doesn't work. We rather give you the rod so you can go fishing.
Yeah.
You can't catch a fish here every day. I come in with it. Every day I come give you.
Not a problem. Thank you so much tonight, sir.
Yeah. No problem, neighbor.
Respect.
Hey, respect, you know, neighbor. And I'm telling you, you're doing an awesome job. Because I'm being honest with you.
Uh-huh.
Anytime I come on for my live, either me there at work, and I have a whole lot of white people as friends.
Yes.
A lot of educator. And anytime you come on and them, you know, them say this guy, man, they like your program.
Well, lovely.
So big up to that. No, like seriously, big up to that.
Okay.
Trust me. Because anytime I'm around them say, want to this neighbor guy, this neighbor friend. And I click on my live, and them I listen to you.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Well, that's nice. Great. Thanks for your support, sir.
Big up yourself. Huh?
Thanks for your support.
Yes, man. Anytime, neighbor.
And thanks to my team, my producer, Caroline, and of course, Harry and Scratchy. They make it work, eh? I see Miss Chin in the chat. Miss Chin, why you not call people to the front of the class? Eh? Miss Chin? Yeah, Miss Chin, you do a fantastic job with your recordings, you know. Miss Chin. Miss Chin, always I invite them to come to the front of the class. By the way, you know, Miss Chin, whenever I watch your tapes, I have to admire your edges. You do well with your edges, ma'am. Sometimes I'm a little distracted by the edges. Oh boy, I tell you something fascinating. Joan says true. She be good, nice edges. Well, you use them edges there, Miss Chin. Anyway, Boy, I tell you. Anyway, it's 25 minutes after 10 o'clock. TV man. Millie says she's beautiful. I'm not talking about no beauty. I'm talking about it. TV man is gone. All right. Harry?
Yes, neighbor.
Faithful as ever, staying with us from start to end. Harry, bring our program tonight to a close. Sum up what you have heard. Speak to the voice note, the PNP down in St. Elizabeth, and sign us off. Thank you.
Yes, neighbor. Good night again, everybody, because I know we have a few people who just joining as well. Sadly, but it's wrapping up the show. But neighbor, it's another sad times in the political arena for Jamaica and its politics, because we have an opposition there who is unwilling to do the people's work in order to be re-elected, neighbor. And as such, they rather resort to unethical and immoral tactical maneuvers that hurt the people of Jamaica to get the power that they so long for. And of course, we know they are doing it out of desperation, because let's be frank, 3 terms, neighbor, without being in power is a long time for them.
Yes.
It is unprecedented.
And the prospect of facing a 4th, terrible.
Exactly. Right? And the truth is they're steering down the barrel of a 4th one. And as such, they want to disembark a type of politics or to re-emerge it in a slightly different form. And really and truly hurt Jamaica just for the power. And that I'll say to Jamaicans is let's not let it succeed. Right? Let the people and what the people's admirations and desires are be called to the front and to actually be achieved. And in order to do so, it is a good thing for the labor rights when I'm saying this, neighbor. It is the current administration that is carrying out the work for the people. And as such, it needs all the defense, all the protection, and also, neighbor, they say the best form of defense is attack, and they need to attack the lies. I know the party is doing the Truth Matters campaign, but also it is these conversations that matters, which will move the needle in Jamaica's politics, that will spread the truth, give the facts to the people, especially those in the diaspora, in order to make the right decision when the time comes and when it's called upon them to ensure that they truly reward good works. Because I think it's about time we get into that type of politics, and that is where Jamaica is going now. We have to reject absurdities, delusions, and misconceptions from the opposition. We have to force them to get to the type of politics that puts Jamaica once again on the map through various development and achievement. And if that means putting them to the sword, neighbor, each election, then I say to that, we need to do to our successful Jamaica.
Well, thank you so much, Harry. Fantastic. Well said. TV man? No, I think TV man has quite out himself. Well, YouTube, I appreciate you. I thank you for subscribing and, of course, for joining us on the program tonight. Was a good show. We had lots to talk about, and we will always have much to say. The conversations continue tomorrow, Thursday, the 23rd of July. We hope that you will join us. Let me go over to the chat and see what is happening. Winston Stevens, 6044, said Bustamante never choose socialism, communism. He chose capitalism to eradicate poverty, dependency, and handouts in Jamaica with discipline, honesty, independence, accountability, trust, wealth, creation, and growth. Thank you for that, Winston Stevens, 604. Violet Facey says, PNP old style politics get stale now. All right. Camille Edwards says PNP are wicked. Sabotage is their aim of the game. All right. Okay. So that's some of the comments coming over from YouTube. Winston again says the JLP people must understand their philosophy and it's free market capitalism and stop supporting liberalism, socialism, communism. Marxism ideology stands on principle. Stop confusing themselves with wealth. Well, Winston, you're getting into some philosophy there, man. That's great. Okay. All will says labor rights don't expect handout can't help. Handout was practiced by the PNP and always destroy our country. Great. So many things over here. The chat was very, very busy. YouTube. Winston Stevens, I see you writing a lot there on YouTube, man. You wanna join and talk with me? Okay. Tell me if you wanna come up, Winston. Glow Joe B says exactly so the PNP started with the quill lies from the late 60s when Shearer was PM. They have only now said it out loud. All right. Lots of comments coming in from YouTube, but we have run out of time. So I want to say to you, until we join you tomorrow, right here on the Politics Matter Jamaica platform, this is yours truly signing out on behalf of Caroline, Harry, and Scratchy. Have a great night. Until we catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.